Oh, yeah. And I usually wait until I see. We'll have two or three pop online here in a second. So it'll be fun. So you've got a whole collection of stuff.
Oh, you told me to bring some stuff. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll hit and play here. And I'm going to turn my volume.
You see, you've got your tablet and I've got my paper.
Good to go.
That's the way we do things around here. Hey, good evening. This is Doug Downs with the Cumberland Heights Church of Christ, and this is our Sunday night fellowship. And it is great to have you with us. This is Sunday night, December 7th. This is, by the way, Pearl Harbor Day, which for most people nowadays don't know what that is. This is my friend Topher Wiles. Topher is our new family life minister. And I just asked him to join me as my mystery guest tonight. I don't think it was much of a mystery to anybody except our elders tonight.
I don't think I was very exotic either. Doug said it would be an exotic guest today. Sorry for those expecting exotic.
You do have an exotic looking mustache.
The mustache is rocking right the minute.
So,
Thanks, Doug.
there you go.
Appreciate that.
So anyway, it is December 7th. This is Pearl Harbor Day. A lot of people in the modern generations don't know much about Pearl Harbor, but on December 7th, 1941, the Japanese surprise attacked the American naval forces at Pearl Harbor, which was our large Pacific Fleet center, and sunk many ships and many 2,000 or 3,000, couple of 3,000 American sailors and soldiers and flyers died at the beginning. It's what propelled our country into World War II. So it's kind of like the older generation's 9/11. We talk about 9/11 and the Twin Towers and how it changed our world. Well, Pearl Harbor Day did the same thing. So anyway, thanks for being with us. We're just sitting in here we're not at the casa. I haven't invited him into the casa yet, but we are here in the church building, and it is good to have you with us. And I asked Topher to join me. We were joking about, we can be so silly together. There's no telling where this thing's going to go tonight. But anyway, let's see kind of who's joined us here. If you're online and you haven't joined us yet, or you have joined us, but you haven't let us know, go in that comment section. Look at this. Keisha and Jesse.
Hey,
Keisha and Jesse.
I don't know if it's public.
We love you guys. That's all I'm going to say. If there's anything you guys would like to share with us online, you can just go ahead and do that. Candy and Brad, it is great to have you guys. Candy told me, by the way, she is retiring. Woohoo! January 2nd. January 2nd, she is retiring from a nursing career that has been driving her crazy.
Yeah.
And so she will still, by the way, I know her well enough to know she will still be crazy, but maybe not quite in the same way. Let's see who else is here.
Oh, yeah. Butch and Belver are here.
Look at this.
Sparks, our song.
Patsy Robert. Oh, the lovely Mrs. Downs is here.
Oh, along with the lovely Mrs. Wiles.
I noticed that. Erlane, it is always great to have you. Linda Gillum, we sent Fred home. If he's not home in 10 minutes, you need to check on him, okay? I'm just telling you. Sandy Gibbs. Hey, Sandy, I saw you this morning. You look great. Good to have you. Always love your grandkids being with us. Butch and Belva, love you guys. Boy, Butch, it was a breath of fresh air, as always, to have you with us. Ray and family. Melissa Henry, darling, I am so glad to see you. Hannah Page.
Yeah.
That's Hannah Page's mama.
Oh, well,
for those of us who don't know all the social connections.
Yeah.
Tim and Trish, great to have you guys. Ronnie Burchett, love you, brother. Always good to have you. If you ever need somebody to hold court for you, Ronnie Burchett can take care of that.
Did you see Ashley's comment in there? By the way, since Doug is going to be speaking, I'll be able to respond to and check a lot of your comments. Ashley said, "What dapper gentlemen we have, Marty." Thank you, dear.
Yeah, just be careful lying like
Dapper
that.
Doug. Hey, doesn't that just works?
Dapper Downs.
Dapper Downs.
Dapper Downs. I mean, instead of Brother Doug, I could be Dapper Downs. Mike Holland, good to have you guys with us. Jennifer Pink, love you, sister. Always good to have you. Jennifer and her good friend Rita Lee are teaching a Wednesday night kids class
That's
this
pretty
next quarter.
exciting. Thanks,
And
Jennifer
it's
and
their
Rita.
first time out. So
speaking of that, boy, how much excitement do we have with the new quarter in education?
This is going nuts. It's going nuts. And, you know, I'll tell you, I looked at, Topher was sharing a bunch of things with us in our leadership meeting that we're going to be bringing online. A lot of technology, a lot of things that will make us more efficient, more well connected as a church, which we want to be. I'll be honest, I looked around the room and I saw several people whose heads were spinning. I thought I was watching The Exorcist because heads were spinning around, because including mine. But I'm very excited about where that's going to take us. And so anyway, hey, let me start with something I have here, and I'll scroll down here and see if anybody else pops online. Just let me. Joanne Vaughn.
Hey, Jesse Buttram just said, Doug, it's fine to announce. Thank you.
Announce
and we're
what?
excited. Announce what? Hey, church family. Jesse and Keisha have been attending with us for some time. And Jesse phone called this afternoon to say exciting news. He and Keisha are engaged as of today to be married.
Yes. All right.
Excited for you both.
Yeah, it's great, guys. We love you. And you know, that's a wonderful step for both of you. And you'll immediately go to the top of our prayer list for good things to happen. Joanne Vaughn, you are charming as always. I love you. Debbie Bolden, thanks for watching us. And her son, oh, my mind just went blank.
Oh, and I'm sorry I can't fill in that gap.
It's not Brian.
Debbie, you may have to post it for us.
Yeah, her son had a birthday this week. Yeah, but I'm, dumb me. I don't look at Daniels, James Daniels. Hi, you Dougie and Topher. He always calls me Dougie. By the way, if you ever need a good comment on coffee and the importance of coffee, go to James Daniels' live feed on Facebook. He posts at least 2 or 3 things on coffee every single day. Casey, thank you, Debbie. Her son, Casey, had a birthday this week.
Oh, you got several answering in. Thanks so
much. Casey, and Rita Lee's watching.
Hey, speaking of Dougie, did you know that there is a TikTok dance called Teach Me How to Dougie?
I'm not surprised. I probably will not be doing it.
It's easy. Wouldn't you guys love to see Dougie do the Dougie one day?
By the way, one of the things that Topher is going to work on doing is setting us up Instagram, TikTok accounts for our church, a couple of other social media areas,
Twitter,
so that he and I can do stupid things online. And that's very exciting. You know, that's going to really create a great church environment.
For fun, the website is already built and the elders have already previewed it. So that's coming soon. And all of that will just help connect all of us to Jesus and each other. That's the hope. But there may be some shenanigans too with Doug.
Before long, when you come into the building, you'll be able to scan a QR code and it will automatically connect you to our church website.
And the quicker,
it will be very nice.
You'll even be able to tap your phone to a QR code and it'll automatically do it.
How about that?
Crazy time we live in.
It was funny. He showed us how to do that in our elders meeting tonight. And none of us have phones that are set up for that. So we're all sitting around like a bunch of idiots, tapping our phones on his, and nobody's phone is doing anything. We're just, it looks like it's some kind of a cult ceremony or something.
It sure looked like it.
Tap the sacred phone and, God will answer your prayers or something like that.
Church family, we will have some training time to help people on board and make things as smooth for you as we can. We love you.
Buddy knew the Dougie.
James is going for it. All right.
Hey, let me share. We do want to do some serious things while we're having some fun with this. I asked Topher to bring a thing or two to share with you, and he will do that. But let me share one. This is one of our Rick Warren devotionals. I love Rick Warren's devotionals every day because they're short and they're really to the point, and they really I love this one. A lot of us go through tough times. A lot of us right now, I know some of us right now are going through some hard times. Listen to this. He's got an article called that I picked up earlier this week. I hope I can get this here where I can see. There you go.
Looks good.
In the dark valley, you have the hope of heaven. I love this because this is what we talk about. What's your goal in life? I've only got one goal in life. I want to go to heaven. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to go to heaven. Everything else kind of feeds that. Okay? So here's what he says. You can be thankful in your trials, not because they're good, but because God is good. And he's promised heaven for all those who believe in his son, Jesus. What is heaven going to be like? You ever thought about that? The Bible says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has even imagined the things that God has prepared for those who love him. That's 1 Corinthians 2:9.
Mm-hmm.
Now think about that. The Bible says we can't even begin to imagine how wonderful heaven's going to be. And yet most people have such a poor idea of heaven that it's no surprise they're not exactly looking forward to it. Think about how most people think about heaven. Movies and TV have often portrayed heaven as completely colorless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, we're all just going to have little wings and hearts, and we're all going to be sitting around, and it's going to be like a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week, 52-week a year, forever and ever and ever church service.
And you know, Doug, as much as I love church with this family and with you,
I wouldn't want to do it 24/7.
that's not my ideal.
No. But do you think? But who do you think created the vibrant colors all around us? Well, God did. You're not going to sit in a robe with angels' wings playing a harp on a cloud. If you ask me, I love Rick Warren. If you ask me, that would be hell. Yeah. You know, so there are a lot of amazing and beautiful things on this planet. Think about that. What did I say this morning in my sermon? Heaven is going to be everything in this world that is fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be on steroids minus any of the negatives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Amen.
There are not going to be any nails sticking up to step on. Okay? No hurricanes, no disasters, all of it. Just the beauty of this world. God's already shown you how beautiful he can make things. Mm-hmm. He says, you know, there are a lot of amazing and beautiful things on this planet. And God created all of them. Beach landscapes, snow-capped mountains, redwood forests, all the beauty and variety of flowers and animals. The earth is broken, and yet it's such a jaw-droppingly beautiful place. You know, I look at all these pictures online and I keep thinking, as soon as Topher figures out how to preach, I'm going to take 9 years off, and Marty and I are just going to travel all over the world. I showed Marty a vacation the other day where you fly into Reykjavik, Iceland. Yeah. And they put you on a tour bus and they drive you all the way around the outer edges of Iceland, all the way back around to the other side.
You would love that.
Now, to me, I would just go crazy in that.
Hey, can I stow away in your suitcase? Hey, friends, what do you think? Since we can see your chat, what do you guys think heaven's going to look like? What's going to be there? What's your ideal?
Let's do that. And while you're doing that, let me finish the rest of this. Now think about a place with no sin, no suffering, no sorrow, and no destruction, and think of what it would be like. All the good stuff, none of that bad stuff. We can't even begin to imagine what God has been preparing for us. After our son, now listen, this is very personal. I don't know if you know this, but let me get Rick Warren's son, Matthew. It's a sad story. His son had severe mental health issues for a number of years. He was a good kid, shared his daddy's faith, but he struggled with mental health issues, severe ones, to the point where he eventually took his own life. Now, I'm not going to jump in here or there about the suicide question. Let's not talk about that right now. What I'm saying is this young man, he's a good Christian kid. And I think he was like 25 or something like that. But he says, when our son Matthew died, and I can't believe he shares this personally, Kay and I were asking an interview about heaven and hope. And here's what I said. We probably received over 30,000 letters of condolence. The letters that meant the most to me were the people that Matthew had led to faith in Christ. Those who said they were going to heaven just because of him. The ones who said, I know the Lord, I have a relationship with Jesus because of your son. And I remember writing in my journal that in God's garden of grace, I love this statement. Thank you, Rick Warren. In my journal, I wrote that in God's garden of grace, even a broken tree can bear fruit. And that was true. I want you to think about that, because we're all kind of broken trees.
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah. And that was true in his life. You say, well, are you happy that it's making a difference? Of course I am. But I still want my son back. I still want my son back. But as David, who also lost a son, said in 2 Samuel 12, he won't come back to me. I have to go to him. That's the hope of heaven that we all have. That has strengthened us even through our darkest days. Wherever there's a shadow, there's a light generating that shadow. The key to walking through a valley of the shadow of death is to turn your back on the shadow, which is scary, and to look straight at the light. And that's how you get through it. If you're walking through the valley today, you just keep walking and look for the light. Heaven is just around the corner. I want to tell you something. You can take that one. You can take that one to the bank. You want to know why I like Rick Warren's writings?
That'll preach.
Man,
And that's a man who has lived through the valley of the shadow of death.
Oh man!
You know the counseling studies that show that losing your child is one of the toughest stressors in life.
It is. And I'm going to be honest with you. We have members in this church family that have lost children. I have had the privilege, but the sad privilege, of preaching far too many funerals for even little babies, little ones, newborns, stillborns, and children, even adult children. The world we live in, the way we live our lives, your kids aren't supposed to go before you. You're supposed to go first. And when that doesn't happen, it just throws your whole balance off, because things aren't happening the way you're supposed to.
Life is a challenge then.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. And that's when you're in that valley, and God says he's got a rod and a staff that'll comfort you. I've stood beside many a bed of a dying Christian and said, listen, don't you worry. I'm going to be God's rod. I'm going to be God's staff. I'm going to sit here and hold your hand until you get home. You don't worry about it. God's going to provide you what you need to get there.
And
It's
I love home. Sandra Gibbs, she put it in the messages. She responded to the question, what are you looking forward to in heaven? And she said those streets of gold and those mansions are valuable to her. And boy, even for those of us who are broken trees, well, that sounds pretty good. I'm afraid they've gotten off on the Dougie dance, and so they've gotten a little distracted.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you something you haven't learned about this church yet. We got a lot of messed up people here. And anytime they get a chance to humiliate me, they're going to just jump all over that. Tim Clark says he lost a son at age 14. Tim, I hear that, brother. Feel for you. Let's see what else we've got here. I'm just going to look here.
You keep going through.
Geraldine, I love you.
Oh, yeah.
She's having a real battle with her mother, who's in final stages of some things, and still Anna and James Daniels is really pushing the dance.
I tell you what, at some point in time, I do believe that one's clean enough. Doug and I can Dougie.
Yeah, I've seen the Dougie, and I'm not saying I don't know what it is. I question whether I would be caught doing it. But with you at my side to poke and prod me along, there's a chance.
Yeah. God meant us to be together, right?
Now Jim and Judy Payne, that's a couple I walked the loss of a child through with them. Yeah. In fact, I was the person, wasn't I, Jim and Judy, that had to go to the house at 2:00 in the morning and gather them to the hospital.
Grateful you were there for
guys. I've never forgotten that, and I'm like you. That night has stayed with me, and I know it stayed with you. We love you guys, but God is good, and one of the things about getting home is family reunions. That could be a pretty neat thing. Hey, you got something for us. You told me this will be quite after a somber topic like that.
Oh, my goodness.
Topher told me he brought something about a movie.
Well, I mean, we can talk about, yeah, it's about a movie, but really it's about those, how we access that mansion, those streets of gold.
Okay, well now that's okay.
Yeah, that
I
garden
want
and
to
that
see how
tree.
you get from Santa Claus to that. But I mean, we'll. And by the way,
Yeah,
there are so many Santa Claus movies out now.
yeah.
I mean, there's like 500 million. You can get anything from Dirty Santa to Bad Santa to Crazy Santa
What are
to.
you looking up in your Google search,
Hey,
friend?
I just looked up Santa and all that stuff showed up. I want you to know my favorite Christmas movie, for those of you who are
Oh, look
wondering,
at it.
is Elf.
Elf. Yep.
I love Christmas because I can get out my elf socks and wear them for about 4 Sundays in a row.
Are you going to sing the song? You know, that's how they win in the end.
I
They
might.
sing the song.
I'd rather do the snowball fight.
If it snows, hey, let's just pray for a good school outing that doesn't cause any harm or damage. One good snow day this year, and
Yeah.
we'll have some fun with some kids.
Yeah, sounds good. Hey,
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
let's show us what you got here.
So the movie Santa Claus by Tim Allen. There's really three of them.
CLAUSE, as in a phrase in a writing.
Yeah, it's a statement
Yep.
in a contract, sometimes added on. And oftentimes it's the fine print in the contract. If you haven't seen that movie, it's an exciting movie. And the gist of it is the original Santa Claus meets some unfortunate moments on Tim Allen's roof, falls off the roof, and he goes down, and all Tim Allen sees is a suit, Santa's suit. That's all he sees. And Santa sees a card with the suit. The clause on the card just said, put it on. Now, there is a lot of fine print on the card, but he puts on the Santa suit.
Without reading the fine print.
That's right. You can't see the
And
fine
that's the
print.
key to the, yeah.
Yeah. And his life is changed forever because he becomes. Can you imagine what it would be like? Doug hasn't seen the movie, y'all, by the way. So this is.
I'm culturally inept.
All right. So what would happen if you became Santa Claus today? What do you think would happen to you physically, emotionally, schedule-wise? How would life change for you?
I mean, for the next 4 weeks, it would be insane.
Insane is right.
And expectations for everybody around you would have to change.
Oh, you would
I mean,
think.
they would see you in a different way.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't be wanting to see me do the Dougie. They'd want to know what I could give them for Christmas.
Well, that's right. On top of that, you would get a rockin' mustache and a beard.
Absolutely.
Your belly would grow no matter how much weight you tried to lose, no matter what exercise plan.
Yeah, and
It's
I
going to
wouldn't
grow.
have to grow much. But anyway.
And do you like cookies?
I can.
Okay.
I can be persuaded.
Well, this Santa Claus, Tim Allen, was lactose intolerant, and all of a sudden he had a craving for cookies and milk.
Okay.
And so that created a major problem. How much does life change when he put on that suit? And that's the rest of the movie. Trying to figure out how life changes
I
when you put on the suit.
kind of have a sense of where you might be going with this, but go ahead.
So let's talk about the Christian suit.
Yeah, there you go. I
There it
felt
is.
like that's our Santa outfit,
You
right?
knew where we were going.
Hey, preacher to preacher, you know?
It's, yeah.
It's like you've
We
told
love
me many times, when a preacher starts a sermon, you already know where that sermon's going.
Oh my goodness. Side note, Doug and I were tracking this morning when he was preaching. My kids were looking over and smiling at me because he kept saying things that I've said to him. It was a marvelous time. I love your sermon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, so much fun. And so Tim Allen got fat. He got facial hair. His schedule changed. He had to be at the North Pole. He had to manage elves. He went from being an insurance agent to managing elves. And the Bible talks about us putting on a suit too. Now, before we go any further, this church heavily embodies Ephesians 2:8. And so Ephesians 2:8 is something that this church, I think, fully believes in. And it is a concept embedded in faith and grace. Where does salvation lie, Doug?
Salvation lies in the grace of God.
It does.
Totally. Our confession. I'm a child of God. Number 2, I'm saved by grace.
Saved by grace.
Now, faith comes in
Yeah.
because you live each day that way.
It sure
That's
does.
part of your suit.
It is.
Yeah.
We go.
It's
There we
terrible
go.
to be in the same wavelength.
Salvation is a gift, and so it's great to talk about here at Christmas, isn't it? I mean, some of you guys, or at least you ladies, have already bought your gifts. You bought them back in July. And so you got yours taken care of. Some of you men are still buying gifts, so right now this is a great
Most of
time
us
to
men are. Today's the 7th. We're at least 17 days from buying any gifts.
All right, yep, that's true.
Actually,
I've had those
actually,
times.
15 days because what is it? Amazon Prime. I can get it in 48 hours.
I wouldn't tempt Amazon this year.
Okay, so I can order the 22nd, and on the 24th, it's on the porch.
Yeah,
Hubba, hubba.
should be. And so thanks, Amazon. Oh my goodness. Well, the suit that we put on, when we talk about it, it is not something that earns a gift.
No.
But it should
The
change
suit
life
is the gift.
forever. Hey, when the suit is the gift. Yeah. And it brings about that changed life. So is there a single moment, a single act, or a single concept that God uses to bless and change our life? Well, maybe not just a single, but we do put on a suit that has a dramatic effect.
And there's a place in the scriptures where it talks about the moment when you put on Christ.
Yes. Yeah. Let's start rolling that direction. There's this moment in Ephesians chapter 4, that great letter that Paul writes to a church struggling with unity. You've got Romans coming in, and you've got people coming up from Jerusalem. They're coming from all over the world at that time, that modern world, to this area.
To the 3rd largest city in the empire.
Yeah, and they are struggling because they don't look the same, they don't speak the same dialect. My goodness, they had some issues. And so he says, in the middle of that, he says this, Ephesians 4, 22 through 24. After that great unity passage, he says, you were taught with regard to your former self to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by deceitful desires, to be made new. To be made new in the attitude of your minds, to put on the new self, to be created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. What does that suit look like? It looks like something brand new.
Holy and righteous, right living. Righteous means right standing and right living.
It does.
And right means God's way.
Hey, now you and I have different backgrounds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So beyond the fact that we're just from different generations here,
Slightly.
just a little.
I mean, you know about tap stuff and all of that. And yeah.
We'll talk to you about not tap dancing,
he's
NFC
reading,
tap dots.
He's reading off his tablet. Look, you know what I've got. You people have seen these. If it's not printed on paper, I don't use it.
Yeah. Well, beyond that, did you grow up in church?
I did, and you did not.
Yeah. So we have a different background from that standpoint.
I grew up as the grandson of a preaching elder and the son of a deacon and a full-time song leader.
Yeah.
So, and
Isn't that amazing?
You know,
What a cool heritage. My wife shares a heritage like that.
I mean, the Sunday after I was baptized, I was older when I was baptized. I wasn't baptized when I was like 9.
Hey, tell us about that.
I was baptized when I was 16.
Yeah.
You know, I already knew the Bible better than most. But
I believe it.
People knew I could speak well. And so there was a little church near where I grew up.
Yeah.
And the guy that was the preacher of that church for years and years and years had wanted me to come and be one of their preacher boys.
Yes.
The Sunday I was baptized, I got a call that night at home that says, well, Brother Downs, it's good to have you in the church. You're preaching next Sunday. And I have not been out of the pulpit since then.
Gabriel and Ethan, does that sound a little familiar to you?
That was 16, and I'm now 75. So I'm coming up on 60 years.
Gabriel and Ethan at 16 and 14, DeRosset Church of Christ has had a tough time around us. And so
I know they've been up there to preach.
Yeah, my sons have been up there to fill in. So they share a little bit of your
background. But I started that next Sunday, and it was every Sunday from then on.
Yeah. And for me, I didn't grow up in church. So I grew up, I can talk to you about my background. I grew up cussing. I grew up with drugs, and I grew up with girls. I just grew up a little bit different until somebody invited me to church. And it was like wearing a new suit. I felt so loved. I felt so accepted. I felt so cared about by a youth minister that girl didn't, she wasn't even on my radar.
So you met a Christian who acted like a Christian ought to.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, that makes
I
a huge
can't.
difference.
It was a group of them, and I can't speak enough about Smyrna Church of Christ and how good they were to me.
Good.
And so, for me, did things change? Yeah, some of it because of peer pressure. I stopped cussing. I haven't said a cuss word since.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get by cussing in Bible class.
Oh no! What are you going to
all
lob
the
off
youth
some
retreat,
F-bombs
you
or
know,
something?
you can't bomb people.
Yeah, but no, there were some really holy changes that happened. I was baptized in 1996, and I remember the youth minister quote from Galatians 3:23, and he's talking about putting on Christ in baptism. And it hit me then. This was around the time that Tim Allen movie came out, and it reminded me then that we put on a new suit, and it changes the trajectory of our life forever. And that
Or
suit,
it should.
It should. And that's the faith component. Talk to me about your faith, Doug. What has it pulled you through? How has it changed and made life better?
Well, most of our church family knows. A lot of them do. I mean, we've had a daughter with a pregnancy out of wedlock. We've had a son that was almost killed in an accident in college. We've had another son that's been through drug rehab 3 times. You know, that's just in the family. And yet, you know, I've preached every Sunday. And, you know, I had a counselor tell me one time, he says, you can do a great sermon just on autopilot. And, you know, that's that faith component. I mean, if you've got the faith within you and you're grounded in the Word, you know, you can keep your head screwed on right and stand up and take care of your business and do what you can. Faith is you know, it has a lot of dimensions like that. You know, every marriage has problems. I mean, Marty and I have been through, you know, we've been married 53 years. Yeah. But, you know, they haven't always been, I'm not going to tell anybody that we've been married 53 blissful, peaceful years. You know, we've had turbulent times. We've had times of conflict. We've had all kinds of crazy stuff. But we keep that commitment because that's part of having faith.
Right now, the church members here in the chat are really lifting somebody up. And so they are acting the way Christians should. Dean shared up earlier in the chat that his mom is
hurt. Geraldine.
Geraldine.
That's a Geraldine.
Oh,
that's Geraldine.
Thanks for that connection.
That's Geraldine.
And so he shared about her on hospice, I believe. And about 11 minutes ago, the doctors put Mom under hospice. Yeah. So please pray for her.
And now people are, I'm seeing people are all over that.
The amount of people loving on Dean in the chat.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And that's the new suit.
That's beautiful.
Because
yes.
The old suit was what was all in it for me. Get what I could get. It's all about me and mine. And that's not what the new suit brought about. When we put on Christ.
Yeah, I just finished that whole, like a 7-month sermon series on the purpose of your life. And there's 5 things that you need to do in your life to make your Father happy. And one of the things is that you serve God in your life by serving those around you. And that's what we're talking about. That's that outside perspective that says, the easiest thing would be for me to walk away and just ignore this, but it would be easier to keep my $10 and use it for something I want. But you know, that guy's sitting out there and he's hungry and he's got his little pet with him, and I can't, my heart won't let me pass him by.
Now, are there people that put on the suit but don't honor the suit? The Indianapolis Star, it's got an article in it, and that's major.
Indianapolis is a sensitive topic with me today.
I thought it might be. Tell us why Indianapolis is a sensitive topic.
Well, the Big Ten football championship was played last night at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, which is about an hour from the campus of Indiana University.
It sure is.
Which beat us by 3 points.
I'm so sorry.
But we lost our last game last year by 3 points by the same score, 13-10.
Oh, tough
and
times.
Won the national championship.
So it can still happen.
You know, the Ohio State sites are already saying, hey, great, we lost again, 13-10. We're going to win the national championship.
Oh, so they're seeing some promise and some hope here. I'm afraid this Santa Claus made a mistake in Indianapolis.
What did he do?
Well, he put on the suit, And a woman, he put on the suit. He was in the chair. He was doing what Santas do at that mall, as a Santa Claus. And a mama brought her crying child over and set him on his lap. And don't you know,
Don't
he
you love
had
them?
had enough. And he told that mama, he said, how does it feel to torture your kid by bringing your kiddo up here and put him on my lap? And he got belligerent with this mama. Eventually, can you imagine what it would be like to see Santa Claus escorted out in handcuffs because he was belligerent and angry? And so that made the national news from the Indianapolis Star. Do people put on a suit and fail to honor the suit? Yeah.
You know, that reminds me of another one of those Santa movies. Billy Bob Thornton
Yeah.
did a Santa movie called Dirty Santa.
Okay, this one I haven't seen yet.
And what he does, they needed a Santa, so they just pull this guy off the street. And I mean, he shows up drunk. He's a complete misfit for the job.
Yes.
And so he's grumpy and snarky, and so he sounds like this guy had watched that movie before he showed up.
That's very possible. He may have been taking notes. He did not have what Joyce Gardenhire just said in the message, in the chat.
Heart.
That servant heart. Joyce, thanks for identifying that.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
We
about.
appreciate it. So the suit, Galatians 3:27, says, whoever have been baptized in Christ have put on Christ.
There you go. That's the passage I had in mind. I mean, and I've always used the illustration that, you throw off the old man or you wash the old man away.
Yes.
Just wash off all the dirt, just like you've been out in the mud hole or you've been out in the woods all day and you come in and you're sweaty and you're dirty and you got dirt all over you and in your hair and everything. And you go in the shower and you just wash all that off. And think about how good you feel when you come out and dry off and sit down in your chair and you're thinking, boy, that just feels so good.
Yeah, it's like new life. And that's what Romans 6 says. When it says, we therefore, us, we were buried through baptism into his death in order that just as Christ was raised from the dead,
resurrection theme,
through the glory of the Father, we too may live a new life. That new life you feel in that shower after you're finally clean, that's that new life amplified.
See, I describe that as changing coats. You just put on a new coat. You put on your Jesus coat. Except we need to realize that when you become a Christian, your Jesus coat is not optional. Yeah. You can't hang it. Now, when I walk the dog and it's cold outside, I put my warm Sherpa coat on. Yeah. And it keeps me comfortable. When I come in the house and it's 70 degrees, I shed that coat pretty fast. I come in, I hang up the dog's leash, and I take my coat off and I hang it on the wall.
You got it.
Okay, a lot of us do that at home, unfortunately, with our Jesus coat. We hang it up when we go to the office, or we hang it up when we walk in the house.
I've got to talk about a temptation. I'm a coach of many sports. Right now, I'm in the middle of basketball season, and I'm in between 2 tennis seasons. And y'all, sometimes I'm tempted to take that Jesus coat off when I'm at sporting events. Do we do that in White County? Yeah. I mean, we're not passionate about our sports.
Nothing will take the coat off of you faster than a coaching job. I've coached tennis. You're still, believe
That's
it or
right.
not.
That's
I've
right.
coached tennis.
Yep.
And, if anything will tempt you to take up cussing again, it's coaching.
Yes, it is.
That'll do it real fast.
It's true. So we focus on the love of our students, though. There's a couple of fallacies that I think sometimes people have as Christians. And sometimes they think, well, we can just take off the coat and put it on whenever we want it. Obviously, that's not right. And we also don't want people to put on the coat by mistake. Tim Allen did. He didn't realize what he was getting into.
He didn't read the fine print.
Not at all. And
by the way, fine print, Sermon on the Mount, read Sermon on the Mount, that's fine print.
There's your fine print.
There you
got it. And I think that's why elders and ministers and deacons and just church family is so valuable. Because before you say, hey, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to put on that new coat that new suit that's going to change my life, they help you understand what that new suit means.
If they're doing their job.
If they're being Jesus's church. Yeah. 2,000 years ago, Jesus made a change. He put on a new coat. Philippians 2 tells us that he emptied himself and came to this earth to be human. He put on a whole new coat, and he did that just for us.
Yep.
Doug, can you imagine what that change would have been like? How awful would that have been for Jesus?
You know, that's got to be just the whole thought of, well, it's hard for us to imagine because we can't imagine what it would be like to be God.
Yeah, it's true.
But, you know, there was a movie out years ago called Trading Places.
Yes.
You remember
Yeah,
it?
I know that one. Yep.
Okay, where it's a guy living, a street person, ends up trading places with a multi-millionaire corporate guy. And, you know, there's one of the great themes in Hollywood is people trading places and taking on somebody else's identity, and how bizarre that is for both parties.
Sure is.
Because you're entering a different world, and when you become a Christian, you know, you're supposed to enter a different world. John says if you stay friends with the world, you become an enemy of God.
Yes.
Which is his way of, you know, his way of saying you've entered a new world. And it doesn't mean we walk around with little halos and Bibles under our arms, but you have to realize that you're now walking out into hostile territory. I always tell our members, you know, you leave the church building, you're entering a minefield. Be careful where you step, because you could lose a limb real fast, or your life.
It's very true.
And the world is that way.
And Joyce Gardenhire admits that in the chat. She said, yes, they do. When we were talking about sometimes our passion, and she said, we do at times. We forget what suit we're supposed to wear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we all do that.
We do.
We all do that. You know, preachers are no more immune to that than anybody else is.
No.
You know.
But you know what drives us and what motivates us? Mary Ashcroft, she wrote in Christianity Today, she wrote this about Jesus changing suits. She said, to get ready for Christmas, she said, God undressed. God stripped off his finery, and he appeared, how embarrassing, naked on the day he was born. God could not be God with us if he wasn't flesh. God changed that suit, and what an embarrassing suit it was.
Yeah, and what a frustrating suit it had to be. I wonder how many times in dealing with human beings face to face. I mean, we read in the Bible how often God got frustrated with his people. You know, that great scene between God and Moses.
Yeah.
Where Moses keeps crawfishing on him, trying to get out of the thing about going to Egypt, you know. And finally, God just says, look, shut up and go.
Yep.
Okay,
time.
I'm done with you. This conversation is over. You need to remember, I'm burning a bush and not consuming it. You've got your sandals off. I'm God. Shut up and go to Egypt. I'll take care of the details on the way. When you get there, I'll have everything booked.
Yes.
And, you know, I wonder how many times Jesus, when he was dealing with Peter, when he was dealing with all these crazy disciples that are over there arguing over, you know, who's going to be Secretary of State, who's going to be Vice President.
Those silly disciples.
And he's saying to himself, you guys so don't get it. And right up to the very end, the last thing they ask him is, oh Lord, are we going to start the kingdom of Israel over now? And it's interesting how he said, the last thing he says to them is, you know, listen, it's just none of your business. You just go out and preach the gospel, and God will take care of the rest of it.
He does.
Just go to Egypt, and I'll take care of the details.
That's it. He does. I love
and
the way
he does that in our lives.
The way the Hebrew writer concludes it when he says in Hebrews 2:14 and 15, and he says, the children are flesh and blood. That's us. It says, he too shared in the humanity, so that by his death he might destroy him who holds the power over death. That is Satan. And free all of those lives who were held in slavery by the fear of death. We have such complete freedom that the details are not what should matter to us anymore, but putting on that suit that honors Jesus. And you know, as we go back to your earlier devotional thought, what a grand time it's going to be when, because of putting on Christ, we get to see our loved ones in heaven. What a freedom and blessing that's going to be.
Can you imagine just having a time when you don't have to worry or think about anything? Just not have to worry about anything.
Wait, do you worry?
Oh, of course not. I'm perfect. But I mean, other people, No, I don't need to do this because
Oh my goodness.
I know these people, they will bomb me if I say that. They will absolutely bomb me.
Hey, all you guys in the chat know real Doug, don't you? Not TV Doug. You know real
Well,
Doug.
you know something, and I'll be honest with you, between you, me, and the gatepost.
Yeah.
One of the things, and my church folks know this, one of the things that Marty and I have tried to do with our lives, because we're very transparent, very frightfully transparent. But Paul says to some of the churches, one of the churches he writes to, he says, you know, I think it was the Thessalonians that Paul wrote to, and he says, we cared so much about you that we didn't just share the gospel with you, we shared ourselves. And that's what we've tried to do. And I really think that one reason that you see all these folks sharing themselves with each other is because we've tried to encourage people to understand that that's what church is. Church is a community that is bound together by a common love and a common destination and a common set of values. And so we work on that. Let me finish with one thing.
Please.
You know, I love these. I'm sure you've seen this. Jesus Calling, and there's another one called Grace for the Moment. Jesus Calling and Grace for the Moment. This one's by Max Lucado, Grace for the Moment. It's a day by day mini devotional for kids.
Yes.
Jesus Calling is by Sarah Young. It says 365 devotionals for kids, so it's got one for each day of the year. You know, Jesus says that if we would become like little children, we would enter the kingdom of heaven. So I got thinking about that. And I use these devotionals every now and then because, you know, I find that these kids' devotionals are really profound. So let me end our evening together by sharing this.
Together.
Let's be kids together. Okay, children, listen up. This one is called Every Detail. It's the December 7th devotional for Jesus Calling. And it's based on Matthew 10:30, which is fantastic. And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Listen to what it says. This is written, these devotionals are written as though God were writing to us. Folks, so God's writing these little messages to kids. He says, I'm with you in all that you do, at home, at school, on the playground, when you sleep, when you eat, when you laugh, when you cry. I know every detail of your life, even the number of hairs on your head. There's nothing that I don't notice. But your own awareness of me comes and goes. Sometimes you feel me right next to you and you feel safe and whole. Other times, well, let's be honest, the problems of the day fill your mind and you lose sight of me. And then you feel kind of alone and empty. Please learn to keep your eyes on me at all times and in all situations. This world is constantly changing, but my presence is always with you. Fix your eyes on what is unseen, me. Then the whole world can march by and you'll still know my presence right beside you. Tell me that kid's message doesn't talk to you and me.
Oh, it does.
You know, I mean, that is awesome stuff, you know.
And
knowing he's there.
Our members and our friends who are joining us, we just posted the link to that book if you want to purchase that on christianbook.com. That is now in the chat.
This is my geeky tech guy.
Love
He's
you, buddy.
done it, man. I like it. What do you say? I think I should keep him around. I say I should keep him around. I have nothing to do with him being around.
I think we're family here now. I think you're stuck with me whether you like me or not.
Even if we end up doing the Dougie together, right?
They may not keep us around.
Yeah, well, you know, we maybe end up being a package deal that gets shipped off.
Oh,
thank you for posting that.
Well, church family, I know we've got a prayer request in there for Dean and Geraldine.
Geraldine.
Are there any other prayer requests you guys need to put in the chat for us to to pray for.
Anything else? I know Georgianne Holman is having a heart procedure tomorrow to shock her heart back into rhythm.
Okay, that's a big deal.
At Georgianne's age,
Mhm.
her doctors have decided that surgical options are not reasonable.
Okay.
And so they're going to try this. Let's all be sure and pray that shock procedure will work for her, because it is really affecting her well-being and her health.
Yeah.
And we love that she's our sister.
Yeah.
Georgianne, my grandparents and Georgianne Holman lived less than 6 blocks apart in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, that's amazing.
Growing up.
Yeah.
Georgianne grew up 3 blocks from Churchill Downs.
Churchill Downs.
And well, that's where the Kentucky Derby is run every year. And my grandparents lived about 9 blocks from Churchill Downs.
Yeah.
And the Taylor Boulevard Church of Christ, where they both attended at one time, was right across Taylor Boulevard.
Yes.
From Churchill Downs. Taylor Boulevard runs right next to Churchill Downs. And my grandfather was a preaching elder in that church when Harold Hazlett was
name.
the preacher. Yeah.
What a big deal.
We've known Brother Hazlett's family forever. And
what a blessing he was for us at Lipscomb.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. Well, I had him in class at Harding Graduate School, which is why I'm so smart.
Oh, of course. It was because of Hazlett.
Yeah,
That's
Hazlett. Right. Well, no, actually, I've got to be honest with you. Marty and I'll tell you this little story, and then we're going to have word of prayer. And then we'll sing 2 verses of Blessed Be the Tie. But listen to this. Marty and I got married on the night of June 17th, 1972.
That's been a minute.
Okay. It was the night of the Watergate break-in.
Was it really?
I don't think that Gordon Liddy had anything to do with our marriage, but we got married that Saturday night. We went to church. We stayed the night at the King of the Road Inn in Nashville.
Yes.
Went to the Madison Church that morning, drove to Memphis Sunday afternoon, checked into our little apartment on the campus, little 1-bedroom apartment on the campus at Harding Graduate School. Went to church that night at the Highland Street Church, the Highland Church of Christ in Memphis, where Harold Hazlett was speaking.
Yeah.
I get up the next morning. Now, I've been married approximately 36 hours.
All right. Still honeymooning.
Yeah. I had to be in class at 8 o'clock the next morning to hear Harold Hazlett do a 3-hour lecture on the history of theology.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think it.
Watergate, Hazlett.
I think it took several years for our marriage to get over that initial shock.
Oh,
but
Jesse, in the prayer request, we're praying for you and Barney. In the prayer request, Jesse Buttram asked us to pray for Walter Buttram, his dad. He's having surgery on Tuesday.
Okay, Jesse, that's your dad and not your mama. Because Marty had picked up that maybe your mama was having surgery, but maybe it's Walter. Okay. Yeah. Rosa, his mama.
Yeah.
Rosa and Marty are best friends.
Oh, now that's
They've known each other forever and ever and ever
since
they taught together. Listen, we're going to get out of here and have a word of prayer, and then we're going to sing 2 verses of Blessed Be the Tithe, first verse and the last, which we always do. And I want to tell you this right now. We will not have Sunday Night Fellowship online next Sunday night because we have our church fellowship, our annual Christmas party from 5 to 7. And we can't come online because, frankly, there are going to be so many embarrassing things going on in that with the
worse
program.
than the Dougie. I can tell you that.
I mean, there are some strange things planned for that, and so we're not going to do that to you. So 2 weeks from now, we will be back with our Sunday night fellowship. Of course, we're on every Wednesday night at 6:30. We're on every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. So please join us for that. You can join us either here on Facebook or you can join us for our Sunday morning service on YouTube. So, and we will soon be launching and announce a church website, and we will try to set that up to where all of these other sources link to that website.
It'll be your home base for everything Cumberland Heights online.
Yep. And that we're looking forward to that. Again, my geeky techno friend over here is going to make that happen. So
I do like techno music too. That's a genre of music.
That I don't like. Give me classical music and C&W, buddy, and Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift's music.
We're gonna have some other come to Jesus conversations.
Yeah, I mean, our members know I have this thing about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Listen, let's have a word of prayer. Join me. Father, Lord, just watch over us and be with us. We have had a good time tonight. This has been a very, very enjoyable evening, and we've gotten a chance, all of us, to think about some things that really, really impact our lives and that make a difference. I pray that you will bless the things that have been said and done, even in humor and even in jest. Bind us together, Father, in so many ways. Help us to know each other and love each other more and more. Pray that you'll be with Walter as he has his surgery. I pray that you'll be with Georgianne as she has her heart procedure. I pray that you'll be with Geraldine and with Marty as both of those girls try to deal with mothers that are in special medical care. I pray that you'll be with I want to ask you to be with my daughter-in-law, Natalie, Jonathan's wife. Her parents are both in hospice care right now. So, Father, these caregivers, as you know, have a tough time. And I just pray that you will give them strength and patience and just keep their faith strong. Father, help us to serve each other every day. Help us to look for opportunities to be the hands and feet of Jesus to those around us. Bless us and watch over us. Help us to grow in faith each day and just be with us in everything that we do. Bless all of our efforts to build your kingdom in this world. Thank you for my brother that's with me tonight. I just pray that you'll build our bonds together and bless us in all that we try to do for you. We ask this prayer, as we always do, Father, in the sweet and precious name of Jesus. And all of my friends join me together in saying, Amen. Amen. Yeah.
Love and appreciate you guys.
And keep those two kids, Jesse and Keisha, keep them in your prayers.
Sure.
After hearing my story about Marty and I starting out, you guys may want to rethink that conversation, but I hope not. But we love you guys. Hey, listen, we're going to sing. I always sing a couple of verses of Blessed Be the Tie. Yeah. I know you can sing okay because you volunteered to be a song leader here at church.
That's a challenge.
That's creepy.
I know.
I hope you're not going to lead a bunch of like techno stuff.
I won't lead techno or Dougie up there. We'll be okay.
Let's do it. Hey, let's sing together and we'll wrap this up. Blessed be the tie that binds our hearts in Christian love, the fellowship of kindred minds is like to that above. When we asunder part, it gives us inward pain, but we shall still be joined in heart and plan to meet again. Thank you. I changed the words a little bit. You'll learn that song if you hang around me enough. That is a beautiful song. Hey, we love you guys.
For you guys.
We love you guys so much. Thanks for being with us. I hope you go out and just have a fantastic knock 'em dead week. Hang in there. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.